Gulf low is what kept our clouds and rainfall around most of the weekend with some big soaking rains earlier in the day. And that is with a low that is now almost into Tennessee, still drawing that moisture northward. Now we are clearing out from rainfall, but with that southerly wind, it's keeping the humidity high and dew points are well into the 70s. I think we're going to be much drier the next couple of days. Still some spotty showers, and certainly can't rule out even an isolated downpour or two because there is now plenty of moisture around. At kind of a 30–40%, I think, range for the next couple of days, both tomorrow afternoon and for Wednesday afternoon. Again, can't roll an isolated downpour. But then here comes a cold front. That moves through probably during the day on Wednesday, and steadily throughout the day on Thursday, drier air will be moving in and a much better feel heading toward Friday and on into the weekend. Beautiful weather with sunny skies and much less humid air will kind of give us a taste of fall-like weather. What we're going to do is we're going to get rid of all this Gulf moisture in place with a surge from the north. And in fact, we're going to see an upper pattern which will likely keep that drier air in place going well into next week. The upper troughing, though, that brings down the dry air is still not yet getting a hold of any colder air. And while we do see the temperature starting to drop behind the front across the high plains, the main energy with this stays well to our north. So while we will see enough of a push to get the drier air in, we're just not yet getting that deep buckle in the jet stream to help bring down more of a fall feel. And temperatures, though, will be in the lower 80s, which is closer to average, but still the overall temperature outlook is a high likelihood that we remain above average. Even as we continue on into early next week, temperatures will likely start to rise. So this is kind of an average of the next 6 to 12 days. Within those days, I think we'll have a few days maybe right at or below average, but overall we're going to stay on the warmer side going into now mid-October. Most of our rainfall is done now, and we're now drying out, which after some big soaking rains earlier, especially parts of the Florida parishes, we need to. Today's high 88 degrees. Officially, though, at Kenner, only 2/10 of an inch. A few spots on the North Shore, though, especially in northern Tangi, got well over 2 inches of rain, and actually was a record total in Macomb. At the moment, some clearing of our skies, 87 degrees, but check out that dew point, 76, so it feels like 97. We're back into the mugginess, at least for the next few days until that dry air moves in. Some upper 70s where we had some lingering showers this afternoon, otherwise in the 80s. However, the humidity is making it feel much warmer than it actually is. At least the humidity, while was high over the weekend, temperatures were down because of the clouds. We got back into the sunshine today. The temperature started to near 90 degrees, and a southerly or southeasterly wind will keep that humidity in place going forward. Again, until the front moves through. Couple of areas out in the tropics, no name system. One that is an unorganized wave kind of moving toward the Yucatan now, has a low chance of development in the Bay of Campeche or southern Gulf. Most of the model guidance is not doing anything with that one. Different story way out in the central eastern Atlantic. This is now Invest 95 with a high chance of developing, and it looks like once again we're going to see one of these Atlantic systems stay out over the open ocean. Could come very close to the northern Lesser Antilles as we head later in toward the weekend, or end of next week, or end of this week toward the weekend, and then making that eventual turn, which we have loved to see all this season. Again, we're getting closer to the time we can finally breathe that sigh of relief. What really allows us to breathe that sigh of relief is a strong cold front and those deep upper troughs, which we're still waiting on. Highs in the upper 80s, near 90 degrees. The drier air starts moving in on Thursday, and I meant to put that less humid on Friday because that's when we'll really feel the more pleasant air and very nice weather on the way for the weekend with highs in the lower 80s.